I had an idea to make a show about female relationships, and I got a teeny tiny grant, and I knew Norah had the same training, which is physical theatre device kind of training that I did. So we got together and we wanted to make a show about that, female relationships. And so we started making that show, and we were making that show for about a year. And then, but we kept hitting our heads against a wall, and it was very difficult to make this play, and not the good kind of difficult, unproductive difficult. And then, so we thought, well, if we're going to examine female relationships, first we should examine females. And then, so to research, we looked inside ourselves. And then when we went deep in there, we realized we were massive hypocrites, and that we thought we were these liberated feminists, or liberated, free, and, sort of progressive young women, but realized we were throwing women under the bus all the time, and that we were actually totally and utterly under the thumb of the patriarchy. And so we decided we needed to make a play about that discovery. So, and when we started doing that, it came very easily. I mean, it was still a lot of hard work, but it was, we knew what we wanted to say. And I find that in making theater, when you are dead sure what you want to say, then the struggle is a good struggle, and the pain is good pain, and the sweat and the blood and the tears, you know that they're serving a purpose. Whereas before we were like, I don't know.
What is this?
What is this about?
But we also started, once that happened, we started writing from our own perspectives, and we gave each other assignments like, tell me the thing you're the most ashamed of. Write it out. That you would never want anyone to hear. That you're the most ashamed to be thinking or feeling. And then we would read them to each other. And then we would say to each other, yeah, there's still a layer of hiding and bullshit there, so, like, get rid of that. What's the actual truth? What are you actually? And as much as that is a struggle, even to, like, admit some things to yourself and then to another person, it was actually also really liberating and terrifying. When we premiered the show, we were terrified.
Yeah. Years and years ago, funnily, I was in the Shunt Vaults in London, and I saw these women in this nightclub singing in a bathtub years ago, and I said, I will make a show where the show opens with two women singing in a bathtub. And I'm saying that now because I think it's so important. As a theater maker, I love to be reminded to trust my instincts, because you can make anything and it could look like anything and sound like anything. And so we just decided, and we were dirt poor, we just decided we're going to buy the bathtub, and then we have to do
like
that.
$500.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So we bought the bathtub. Yeah, and the bathing suit. We're going to spend $90 on bathing suits.
And the bathing suits came also quite late in the game. We struggled a lot to decide what to wear, because, as Amy said, we wanted to be as exposed and vulnerable and naked as possible. But being actually naked felt incorrect, because there's a layer of, like, distraction and sexuality that's attached to, like, looking at someone's naked body. So we wanted to be as close to being naked without being naked in a neutral way. And we came up with white bathing suits, which when we did a showing for some, 3 people, and the first time we wore the white bathing suits, one of the women said, I don't know how you guys are doing it. A white bathing suit is literally the last thing I would ever want to wear in front of a group of people in my life. It's like every woman's nightmare. And we were like, oh no, that means we have to do it.
Were you nervous the first time?
We were nervous about everything, but that included.
But I would say, and I've said before, before we premiered the show, I was like, I'm going to feel so self-conscious about my body being exposed. And then we premiered the show, and I was so amazed at how little I thought about it and how little it concerned me, because the play's about so much more, and we're using that kind of nakedness to say something we believe so much that it felt like not a thing. We never think about, like, I wonder how my leg looks now.
It's funny, there was a reaction I think about often where we don't, like, pick out our wedgies. you know, it's very physical, and so often like the fabric of the bathing suit is stuck in between my ass cheeks, or Nora's ass cheeks. And a woman who saw the show, she said, I was watching you and I was like, pick it out. And then I realized, no, don't pick it out. Let your ass be there. Let all our asses be there. We don't have to pick out wedges. Yeah. And through the duration of the show, she had like gone for a circuit and going, we should all just wear, you know, shouldn't have to
proper
prim and proper, be so prim and proper all the time.